All right, so look, let's just get it popping. You ready? Okay, 3, 2, 1. Rhino Radio's here with its very first episode, with its very first guest. I'm super excited about this, man.
Absolutely.
Can you feel it?
I can feel the energy,
It's the first time being in this studio. There's a lot of red buttons happening now. We haven't had this much red in a long time.
I mean, you got blue, greens, yellows,
we got a lot
red,
of colors,
whites,
yes.
everything, man. It looks dope as shit. I like the lighting, the mood set. You know, if I didn't know any better, we were on a date or something. Whoa, Ryan, calm down now.
Well, this is you know what? This is a nice first date for us. I really think that it is.
It is good, man.
But you know what we're talking about today? We're talking about something you've been doing along with your brother Manny for how many years now at February Frameworks. By the way, let me make sure to introduce my guest. We have Sean February from February Frameworks here today to talk about videos, professional photography for your real estate business
and also
why.
Videos.
And video. You know what? When someone says 60 frames per second, you know what that means? That means we took 60 photos in a second. Video is just a bunch of photos strung together.
That's exactly right, actually.
Isn't that exactly right?
Yeah. That's
30 frames per second. That's 30 pictures I took in 1 second. But February Frameworks, you know, when I came to Florida, that was synonymous with real estate photography. I heard about February Frameworks #1 when it came to real estate photography. When did you start the business, by the way? I want to know what the beginning was.
So officially, according to sunbiz.org, it was July 6th or 26th, 2016. But it had started prior to that in like early May of 2016, but it wasn't really a business. I didn't know what a business was back then. Beforehand, I was working at a civil engineering firm as a civil designer. I was going to school, working full time to get my degree in civil engineering, and I got tired of it, Ryan. I didn't like to do it anymore, dude, because I was sitting in front of a screen. I wasn't outdoors. I was doing that since I was 15 years old. As soon as I could work,
right,
I got into it, and it just got boring. 11 years later, I'm thinking to myself, man, is this going to be the rest of my life? I see my dad over there. Fucking fingers are all screwed up because he's on the keyboard too much, and it just wasn't for me.
By the way, folks, we don't have a PG-rated podcast here today, so we let it all happen here. Our guests are free. This is a show of freedom here. Did I say it was Rhino Radio, by the way? I think that's pretty important.
I don't think you mentioned it.
I think we need to mention that. Welcome to Rhino Radio. Freedom, baby. Rhino Radio, and Sean February is our first guest. Look, professional quality photography content for real estate. Okay. The market, there's gloom and doom all over the place. We've went from a land of milk and honey over 2021, 2022. Things are just flying off the shelf. Things are sitting a little longer. Agents' attitudes are a little bit different about the market and the future and all of that. Why would now be not the time, and then we'll go into some of these points, but why would now not be the time to let off the pedal when it comes to professional marketing? Why would I not want to make that not part of my repertoire right now when serving my clients?
Yeah, I would say it probably started all the way back to 2016, not so much 2020. When we saw the boom was 2020, and that was because of COVID, and a lot of people were moving out of lockdown states and things of that nature to Florida, which was considered a more loose state, which I love.
Are we loose? We're a little loose here,
I think we're a little loose. We're loose. Yeah, I think we're a little loose, which I'm fine with. I don't care.
Yeah, I love it.
And 2020 is when you saw the lockdown happen, and then an explosion in sales, right? And then and you also had low interest rates. It was like, I think I got my house at like 3.25, and that was actually in 2021. So interest rates were still reasonable in 2021. 2022 is kind of when you saw that to start shifting, and then 2023. Due to inflation, the Fed starts hiking the rates, and we're at like 8.25% or something like that. And now people are scared to sell their current home, right? Because
a little scared.
Because now if they had a locked-in rate for 2.25 all the way to 3.25, and they're like, damn, yeah, I have all this equity, but now if I sell my house, I'm gonna pretty much be locked into an 8.25, plus the house I'm buying is overvalued by hundreds of thousands of dollars. Do I really want to do that, even though they might be getting a nicer house? The reason why you shouldn't let the foot off of professional photography and videography for marketing homes and things of that nature is because you are representing a brand. You, a realtor, you are 1099. You're not a W-2 employee. You are a brand. Whether you like to believe it or not, you are a brand.
You are a brand.
So if your brand is walk around a house, take photos with your cell phone, well, I mean, let me just look at Zillow, right? If I look at Zillow, I think 80% of them have professional real estate photography or videography. And then do you really want to be that 20% that doesn't do any of the home sales? I mean, because that's typically what we look and what we see. And NAR says that 95% of home sales are initiated online now. They're not, oh, I'm going to walk into a Keller Williams and you're going to have a walk-in off the street and then boom, they're going to be your client. That's not how it works anymore. It's not 1980, folks.
It's not 1980, folks. So let's not brand ourselves like it's 1980 also. So look, I saw today that social media by 2025, 81% of transactions or more, however they calculated that, were going to be started on social media. So being there with lower quality content, pictures of there's listings, this one of the largest purchases people are making in their lives. They're representing their brand and themselves through these images. It's not just you and your brokerage and your sales and whatnot. It's you leave those behind too. So these pictures, or you're putting them on Instagram, or but they're still lingering there. Are you proud of that? Is it representing your brand? So you're saying we need to have an aesthetic that represents our brand. If we're trying to go into more sales, go into more maybe luxury listings from where we're at right now, it sure ain't going to happen with cell phone pictures taken driving by the house on a drive-by shooting, is it? You need professional quality.
And you know what they say, 90% of home sales and purchases are done by 10% of the realtors. So if you want to be one of those 10% of the realtors that do 90% of the transactions in a region, in a real estate market, just look at what they're doing. And what are they doing? They are going above and beyond because they understand that they represent themselves while they're representing the client. When they walk into a listing presentation, whether they walk in blind or whatever, they can maybe just pull up their phone, go to their Instagram and go, hey, look, all this is me. We don't cut costs here. We pay for the best because we want to market your house as quickly as possible.
Right.
We want to get it to market. We want to present it so we can get as many showings as we possibly can. And we want to sell it within 30 days. That's really the goal.
That's really the goal. What is that first picture that you see? That first picture, let's say it's represented on Zillow or wherever the pictures are going. How important is that very first picture?
It's absolutely important.
Yeah, it's gonna show the people the quality that's ahead, but you got to attract them and pull them. And just like with video, with thumbnails on YouTube or whatever it is, it's that first picture that's going to determine whether they're even going to click on that listing or not. It might be the same price. That first picture might be off, and they're not even exploring further. It seems like a huge detriment.
I mean, you really only get one chance to make a first impression, correct?
Boom, yeah.
So why not make the first impression the best impression? So actually to that, we offer in our company, I'm not pitching the company, by the way.
Yes, you are. We encourage that here on Rhino Radio. Pitch it up.
All right. Well, with Fabre Frameworks, our standard photography package, we include an MLS headliner, which is a advanced virtual twilight, which essentially you're not paying twilight prices. You're getting this for free.
Free?
It's included.
Did you say free?
I said free. and that picture is what we see 99% of our clients put as the first picture up on the MLS.
So twilight being where it's shot during the day, but there's a nighttime look to it that looks extremely amazing.
So we brighten up the windows and make the lights look like they're on inside the windows. We put a nice little dusk sky in the background.
Yeah, I love those.
And that captures the attention, right? Because that's something that people aren't used to seeing.
Right.
And, not to knock the competition, but we have a lot of copycats out there. And, copycats
looking at you.
Yeah, looking at you.
I know you're watching.
Looking at you. And, but people that copy you, that's a form of flattery. So don't hate it too much. But, first impression is everything. If you just have some picture up there where the camera's pointed from the grass up to the sky, you can only see half the house. It's like, nobody's going to want to click on that. So realtors, you really have to hone in on how you market and brand yourself. Because if you tell a potential lister or seller that, hey, I'm going to market the crap out of your property, et cetera, and then you don't, well, what does that say? You're not getting referrals, all right? Because nobody's going to refer the person that didn't do shit for them. And essentially, you're just going to be a second thought. You're going to lose it. Your listing's going to expire. So
absolutely.
Professional is going to actually get it.
Expectations in the business of real estate are extremely important, because if you set those expectations, we're going to market the crap out of your house, and you don't, there's something called silent resentment too. And what is in sales, what silent resentment leads to is no referrals, no return business. It's just one and done if you get through that transaction. So setting expectations is huge. So if you want to market the crap out of your property and your listing, you need professional quality. Okay, so tell me about online visibility with photography.
Well, let's put it this way. So we live in a social media world.
We do.
And the majority of people are on Facebook or Instagram, right?
Right.
So if you are taking crap photos and you're posting them,
let's call them what they are.
Shit photos, yeah.
Yeah.
and you're posting that on your Facebook page, or posting that on your Instagram profile. You see these Instagram profiles where all they post are homes. That's it. They got like 3 million followers, right? They're not even real estate.
Just listed, just sold.
Yeah, pretty. Is that?
That's what we call it. When I see it's usually just listed, just got a listing, just sold. It's usually them kind of with a PNG photo, like leaning up against a pillar or something. It's just listed, you know, that kind of thing.
But you see these profiles and you see the amount of engagement these profiles get. Well, as a realtor, why not make your profiles similar to those? So now you have more online visibility, you have more followers. They may not even be in Florida. They may not even be in our region. They may be out-of-state buyers.
Yes.
And they're like, yo, we stumbled upon you through Facebook or Instagram, whichever one it may be. And, you know, your profile's amazing. Your videos are great. We want to use you. We're flying down here in 2 weeks. We want you to show us all these houses. Boom. Bro, and you know that. People coming from these states like California, New York, Michigan, they have money. They have a shit ton of money. So they're not looking to purchase a $300,000 house. They're probably looking at 1.5 on the water or somewhere.
Absolutely.
You know? So now you're getting more value for the time you put in, and it doesn't cost that much.
It doesn't cost that much. Did you hear that? But how much does it cost you not to do it, though? I think it costs way more not to do it and represent your brand well and get that online visibility and have that aesthetic appeal and have people want to work with you. I think it costs more to not do it than it does to do it.
Because if you don't do it, you're missing out on potential commission checks, right?
We don't like that.
No, of course not.
You guys like that?
I mean,
no, I don't think so.
Like, let's put it this way. Our standard package is only $250, right?
Say that again.
$250.
Let me put the camera on you.
$250. Let me tell you what that comes with, though. Let me tell you what that comes with.
Tell them.
That comes with interior, exterior, DSLR photos. That comes with drone aerials. That comes with a single property website. Comes with that MLS headliner, which is the virtual dusk. And it also comes with a marketing suite where you can just take the photos, apply them to pre-made templates within the platform, and it will spit out social media posts for you. So you don't even have to do hard work.
Out?
It'll spit them out.
You tell me they're just flowing out.
Yeah, that's literally it.
I love
marketing suite. And you can use those things to lead gen, you know. You can even make mailers within that marketing suite.
Absolutely.
It's kind of like Canva, except, you know, Canva's more intricate, but this is just pre-made templates. You can modify, you can adjust, you can change colors, things of that nature, pictures, whatever. But it comes with all this. I haven't even mentioned everything it comes with, but that's just to give you a little taste.
Just a little appetizer.
Just an appetizer.
Okay, but folks, he said $250 on something like that. I was thinking triple that price, which would have still been worth it, because I don't know. Rhino don't do photos, okay? I'll take a couple marketing photos, but, you know, we leave it up to the pros. February Frameworks when it comes to professional real estate photography. What about, let's talk about reduced time on market, okay? That's a big thing right now because we're seeing things sit a little longer. We want to reduce that time. How does photos help with that?
Let me tell you something. So
tell me something.
Do you know where Sulphur Springs is at?
I do, actually.
Okay, so Sulphur Springs is a impoverished area.
Yep.
We have investors that buy homes there. They don't fix them up at all. They don't at all. And
just buy them, flip them as is.
As is, but what do? They take the real estate photos that we take of that property. Looks completely distressed. But when we photograph it, it doesn't look distressed. It looks like a brand new house. Yeah. It's not like we're modifying it to the extent where it's fictionally depicted on the MLS. That's not something that would comply with MLS policy.
Yeah.
We just bring it into
compliant
its best. Yeah, we're compliant here. We just present it in its best light. And these guys are like, yo, I don't know how I haven't been doing this. Before, all I did was take photos with my phone and it'd take us 3, 4, 5 months to sell. And this is during the peak. And then once we came in there, they're like, I'm unloading them in 2 weeks. We're like, yeah, that's kind of what professional photography does. It does reduce the amount of time because, I mean, listen, iPhone 14 Pro Max, whatever the hell it is, it does a decent job, but that's not everything that comes into professional photography. The editing,
not at all.
The editing is what takes it to the next level. That's really where the bread and butter is made because editing is really difficult and it's not, if it was easy, everybody would do it.
Because I tried to do it and it's not my forte. Okay. So we're even when you know how to take and compose a picture, you got good composition, you've got the ISO set up, you've got the white balance, you got the focal lengths going good. Folks, do you even know what that means? If you don't know what that means, you shouldn't even be attempting this. But even doing that and getting proper lighting, you've got competing lighting going on, you've got all this stuff. It's all in the editing. Like that is the bread and butter for it. And there's layering going on. You don't have that blown out window in the back. I mean, when I'm searching for a home, I'm sure there's plenty of homes that I looked over just because of bad photography. Could have been the right house.
And let's be real here, Ryan.
Let's be real. We do that here.
Realtors are not professional photographers.
No, and they shouldn't. They don't need to be.
So should I go out there and start selling houses?
Hey, you want to get a license? The school, got Tampa School of Real Estate right around the corner, but no,
not really something I want to do.
I think you're doing good. Yeah.
So if I'm not going out there selling houses, well, shit. What makes you think you can become a professional photographer? Took me at least a year just to learn how to use a camera and Photoshop and Adobe Premiere and everything. I mean, and that's me working at it every single day because when we first started for Break Frameworks, it wasn't the best product. I'm not gonna lie, it was cheap as shit back then, but it was not the best product. We're far removed
from then. It's all right.
But if I was being a realtor and a photographer and a videographer, I mean, bro, that's too much. What our goal is to essentially provide you time, take the marketing aspect out of it and provide you time to do what you do best. And that's acquire buyers and sellers. That is literally what your position should be. Not to try and compete with professional photographers, guys. And I mean, we're only a very, very small portion of your commission check because if you sell a $300,000 house at even 2%, that's 12 grand. Like $250, bro, that's a write-off.
But also you're increasing the chance and likelihood of more business by your visibility. If you've talked to any high-level real estate coach, there is no way that they're going to recommend you being a jack of all trades. They're going to invite the word leverage into your business. And February Frameworks, especially with the quality and price that you're offering it at, that is massive leverage for your brand, for your visibility, for reducing time on market. It just doesn't make sense. If it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. It just don't make sense to just take it all on yourself. And so many people are doing that, trying to cut a couple dollars. Look, you're new in the business. I get it. Look, welcome to real estate.
Yeah, but how do you want to start your brand out? You know?
Yeah, how do you want to start the brand out? Is this how you want to start it out with this low quality vibe? You need to come out of the gates as a thoroughbred stallion, just strutting your stuff off to that finish line. And by the way, in real estate, there is no finish line, but you're still a beautiful stallion, just hairs waving, and you're winning trophies and cups, and it's a beautiful thing. So and care about your brand, care about it.
And really what you want to do right when you start, I mean, at least go find a mentor, a real estate agent willing to work with you that is willing to at least give you a couple hints, because you want to see, as soon as you establish your Facebook page, as soon as you establish your Instagram page, you want to look like you've been doing it for 10 years, even though you started last week. You know,
absolutely.
Actually, go look at their pages, see what they're doing, and I don't want to say copy it, but I kind of do. Mimic exactly what they're doing, because essentially you're going to appear as if you've been in the business for a very long time. You're going to establish better credibility, and it's all through high quality content. That is really the only way of doing it.
I will tell you what, at Rhino Coaching, we highly recommend R&D, rip off and duplicate. Look, we do. We recommend that. And not only do we recommend it, we teach it, because there's nothing new under the sun. Nobody's inventing any. Look, I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a intellectual property kind of guy, because people have been ripping off of me, and I've been fine with it. I've been ripping off of them. I don't know if they even know, but I definitely have been doing it because we want to duplicate what works. Why aren't we? That's what we do when we read a book. We're reading a book to someone who went through 20 years of suffering to be able to come to a conclusion, put it in a book, and now we get to take advantage of that. So when you're seeing something online that works, or a broker that's doing something that works, or a top agent, take what they're doing and run with it. Make it your own. It's coming from you. It's now part of your brand. Nobody can do it like you. What Dr. Seuss say? There's no one youer than you. I don't know. I wish I had that quote right now.
Green eggs and ham?
No, not green eggs and ham. It's a Dr. Seuss quote. There's nobody youer than you in the world. I mean, it's about brand here, but it's also about trust. We haven't mentioned trust yet. We kind of alluded to it on some things when it comes to expectations, but how does professional photography help with the trust factor, which is the foundation of relationships?
Right. So it kind of goes back to what we said prior, right? It's your brand is representing you. Right. So when someone sees a brand that they can trust, that means that the brand looks established. They do the same thing. It's what we do in Fabre Frameworks is what I like to call CPR, consistent, predictable, repeater.
Ooh, I like it.
Okay, so it saves lives and it saves listings. That's our whole
save lives, saves listings. That's what I'm talking about.
But the same thing, going back to your brand helps you build rapport with your customer, because if they're online and they're looking at your stuff and they're like, yo, the stuff is always high quality, it's always the same, it's always appearing the same, you start building that rapport before you even meet the person.
Yeah.
And it's something that is really, really important when it comes to just acquiring new customers, whether it be realtors acquiring new customers or just your average small business owner acquiring new customers, lawn service, any service-based company. People like to think that they know you before they even met you. And I think that's the biggest thing. And also, once they do meet you, don't act like a different person, because then you're instantly just kill all that trust that you built without having to meet the person in the beginning.
Yes. Authenticity is huge. It's all about being yourself in today's online digital marketing space. Things used to be so compartmentalized years ago when a lot of agents started in the business. There's still plenty of agents that have been in the business 20, 30 years right now, started off in a space in marketing that didn't involve, really putting themselves out there a lot. But if you're putting yourself out there at all, the thing that you represent, which is not only yourself, but these listings, you're representing your sellers, you're representing your buyers or whatnot. That's got to come with a certain care for your brand and how you're showing up in the world and all that. So leveraging a professional photography or videography is just essential. It's really, I don't think it's an option moving forward if you really want to come out of this market, because look, these are cyclical times. We've got highs, we've got lows, and those who've been around know, look, these things go up and down. So when you're in this little valley right now, we'll call it a valley. Welcome to the valley. That when we go back up on the mountaintop, we want to be known for high quality. We want to be known for consistency. We want to be known for having an excellent brand that cares about clients. That's why we like to do a lot of video testimonials and having people's stories get told about working with you as a business owner. So what else are we missing when it comes to having professional photography? Let's talk about brand resilience. We're talking about going through those valleys and mountains and whatnot. How is it helping with brand resilience, with having a good quality brand aesthetic online with these photos?
Well, the one thing is consistency, right? You don't want to post just once. You want to keep posting, keep
Glad
posting,
you said that.
posting. Because a lot of people, they'll post for, say, a month and they'll give up, right?
Yes.
Well, if you give up on that, well, what else have you given up on? See, there's winners and learners. There aren't losers.
Tell us, Sean. Tell us.
The only time there's a loser is when you quit. So failure, you learn something from it. So if you learn enough, you'll eventually win, and fail quickly, right?
Yes.
But also listen to people that have done it before, because if you've never done it and you're going in there hot-headed thinking to yourself, oh, well, I have this idea and this is the best idea in the world and I'm not going to listen to anybody, but the guy over there is doing 40 million in volume in real estate sales, but he tells you something, you're like, no, that's not going to work. It's like, okay, all right, well, we'll see where you're at in about 6 months, because the majority, what do they say? The easiest license to get is a realtor's license. The hardest profession.
The bar isn't that high.
Yeah. The hardest profession to stay in is being a realtor.
Absolutely.
Because people just quit. So be a winner or a learner. Don't be a loser, because quitting is not a finish line. It is the end of the line.
You don't want to be at the end of the line, because guess what happens when you get to the finish line? You're finished. That's what happens at the finish line. You're finished. You don't want that. So also, you guys are not just static images, but just you do 3D tours as well, right?
Yeah, Matterports.
What do the clientele benefit do they get from doing the 3D tours?
So it got really big during COVID because what I like to describe Matterport tours as, which are 3D tours, is if you ever went on Google Maps and you did a street view drive down a road, it's just like that, except it's in the interior of a house. And it allows people to view the house without actually having to view the house. So when I bought my house in 2021, I bought it sight unseen.
Did you?
Yeah, I bought it sight unseen.
Risky.
Yeah, very risky. But I mean, the inspection came back and the appraisal, everything was good.
I love it. It worked out.
Yeah, it worked out. but that just goes to show you. I was like, yo, I've seen 5-10 houses. They all look like the pictures. The next one I see, I'm just going to put an offer in on it because I don't want to have to wait. And boom, sure enough, we were the first one accepted. And in 2021, shit was getting real hot, right? So it was just booming. And
yes,
I was like, I just need to buy a house. That's it. Just buy a house. I don't care what it looks like. As long as the inspection and the appraisal comes back fine. And actually it came back pretty good because it was built in 2011.
I tried to purchase a home in 2021 and left crying. I left crying, tears rolling down my eyes. This beautiful property, beautiful photos, had horses at the end of the street. It had a little lake in the back. It had the eastern sunrise coming right in your backyard every day. I mean, it was just nice. Okay. And all the cash buyers were flooding it at that time.
That's the problem.
The cash buyer that got me, I'm just a little old financed guy. I couldn't keep up with the out of town cash buyer. So that was sad. So welcome to my home. We're going to be around here for a while. We're sub 3% here. I put that out in the public, but we're not going nowhere. So agents, I'm going to have a real emergency to get out of this house, to be honest with you. But those who are selling their homes, those who are buying right now, buyers want good pictures to look at. They want to find the home and have a certain emotion about the property before they get there. You're not getting that with crappy photos, right? You're not feeling like, oh, I could see myself there. That's got a lot to do with it too. The sales is emotional. Buying for your family, it's an emotional experience. So that first emotion should really be from that photo. I'm thinking that's the first time we really get a feeling about, is this the right place for me? And man, and you mentioned doing photos on iPhones and whatnot like that. Look, you can get good at that. Most of you that do that don't even know how to take a photo in the first place. So there are some decent pictures you can take with that, but it is nothing like investing the amount that you offered for that package. First of all, not have your time spent doing that, because you could have leveraged other activities that are higher income potential for you, but it just doesn't make sense. You got to call Manny. You got to call Sean. You got to get February Frameworks on the job starting today. You want to come out of this period of time with a fresh new brand. It's time to level up.
But another thing here is it may just be about real estate photos and real estate videography, but segueing into Rhino Creative Media, you also want to inform potential buyers, inform potential sellers that this isn't a bad time. And this is something that you help realtors with, creating good visual creative content, because I've seen your reels, I've seen your testimonials, I've seen your content, period. And you've done just a phenomenal job with such a new business that you started, back in May or
4.5? I think we're creeping up on 5 months, like 4.5 months.
4.5 months?
Yep, somewhere in there.
But you've been doing videography for a while, right?
Absolutely.
So, I mean, you can help realtors just create informational content where they're talking to the customer. They may not be talking about a house, but they're talking to a customer about, hey, this is why buying right now is a good idea. Yeah, you might be buying at 8.25, but when the rates go back down, you can cash out, or not cash out, you can refi to like 5%, and then your home is going to be worth so much more, because now that rates drop, home values are going to skyrocket again. And that's something that you can help realtors with, or just anybody in general, right?
Educate. You know, when you think of real, REEL, I added an acronym to it, R, relationships. That's what we're doing this whole thing for. Those videos and photos are establishing trust to build a relationship with someone. It starts online digitally. So we're doing all of this to create relationships for our business, for our life. And then we got E, what you just mentioned was education. So we're going to educate people. Leaders define reality. That's what I want all of my small business owners to do, is to define reality as a local resource, because national news, you know how it is in Florida. We got a hurricane coming. You get calls from Auntie Sherry from up north. She's like, oh, you guys are going to get blown off the map, huh? Because they sensationalize everything on national news.
That's a fact.
But then you get a Paul Delgado's got you calm. Dennis Phillips is saying rule number 7, baby, don't freak out until I freak out. They're defining reality locally. So educating is that next E. Next one is entertain. We're doing it right now. We're getting together. We got 3 different angles. That's entertain. Just get clicked away. It doesn't have to be. You don't have to be funny. You don't have to be Andrew Schultz. You don't have to be a comedian, Dave Chappelle. It's just about having videos that are edited in an entertaining way that are keeping people's attention. So relationships, education, entertainment, and then live. And I also turned L into love too, because you got to love what you're doing.
You said live.
Live, getting live, baby. Making yourself having a show that comes out on a consistent basis that you define. Because remember, we define reality. We also define our schedule. And we're going to have a live show that's going to allow people to interact with us live, ask questions live, and make that consistent. Most people just start live. They don't get very many viewers and they don't come back. Like, have a Wednesday show at 6 p.m. educating buyers. Bring live videos back into your life. You can really connect with people if you stay consistent. So pick a show, time, go after it. Relationships, what we want. Educate the people, entertain them, and go live. That's a great strategy right there with real.
And education.
It's real.
And going back to education as well, in the videos you make, you start building rapport. You start being a trustworthy individual. That's
what it's about, baby.
That people want to do business with. Because do you want to do business with somebody you don't know? Probably not. I definitely do not. Because for me,
no,
the biggest thing is and keeping it real. I really like that. Maybe you call it keeping it real with
keeping it real with Rhino?
With Rhino. I don't know.
Keeping it real with Rhino. What do you think? Put in the comments. Do you like it? Thumbs up, thumbs down.
But yeah, man, and that's one thing that a lot of people don't understand is the educational part of selling. You really don't want to sell. What you want to do is educate.
Not anymore.
Not anymore?
Well, I used to sell back in the day. They told us we wanted to sell. And then now we're telling. We're not selling.
Yeah. Well, through education, you then sell. Kind of goes back to this.
Yes.
You have these guys that put out a bunch of videos, or girls that put out a bunch of videos out there that are just, hey, if you do this, you can make $1 million. Well, at the same time, nobody's going to go through the trouble of doing any of that. They're just going to hire the person who told them, if you do this.
Imagine that.
They are seen as an industry expert. And if you're seen as an industry expert, then they're just going to trust you to do it. They're not going to want the headache because maybe they have something else that they're worried about, acquiring leads or whatever it may be. So that's something that's huge. And I've seen you do it a lot with a lot of the companies that you've been working with.
Yeah. We want to look. I want to turn small businesses into media companies that sell ... So if you're a real estate, Ken Pozek, shout out to Ken Pozek in Orlando. 80% of his business is derived from closed transactions from the videos that he's making about being a local resource and defining reality in Orlando. He's been doing that through YouTube, which if you have proper SEO on YouTube, that is the best place for agents to really be when it comes to video. So we're talking photo, talking video. You need to be showing up. You need to be everywhere and omnipresent. So we help with that at Rhino Creative Media. We want you to promote. You mentioned sales, and I know how many people when they hear sales, it almost makes them retract a little bit. Sales is a dirty thing. Trust me, I was a car salesman, okay? I know.
Were you really?
You wanted me to jump out with a cigar and a plaid jacket and say, you're taking this car home today. Quit kicking the tires. Like, I got a contract for you. Sign here. This got this connotation of being sleazy or whatnot. Sales is the most beautiful thing in the world, and we're all doing it. Look, sales is you got to promote. To get more sales, if you have a business, you got to promote. We got to promote, and we got to promote our brand. We got to have great pictures with our products. We got to have video that's again, 2025, we've got 81% of transactions are going to be started through social media. You need to be there.
My question to you here is, what do you think about promotions through Facebook ads and Instagram ads in order to gain more exposure to the masses?
Yeah.
That are, of course, targeted to selective industries you're trying to go to. Is that something that you would say to your audience is probably a good or a bad or a neutral idea?
I'll tell you right now, if you're not using ads, you're really not embracing the power. We're doing live switching here. You're not embracing the power of video, because this is a pay-to-play platform. If you were on Facebook in 2012, don't worry about ads. You're going to get all kinds of organic reach. If you were on TikTok in 2020, don't worry about ads. You're going to get thousands and thousands of followers. We're now at a point on all platforms, and Threads, I don't even want to hear about Threads. Okay. There's all kinds of platforms advertised, but they're all pay to play. Yes. With consistency, knowing your audience, creating videos that people want to consume in a world filled with videos. You've got to be strategic. You got to have a plan. You got to have a director with you, and you've got to put ads out. Okay. So your database, you've got a gold mine in there, but they haven't seen you in a long time. Maybe they got some of your drip campaigns, some of your faceless digital communication, black text on white screens over and over again, text messages. How the hell are you? Get out of my, I don't care. You need to show up. So with ads, you can retarget databases. I've got a database that's been kind of quiet for a while. I'm going to make a video, and to get that in front of them, you're not going to rely on organic, just putting a video on social media. You're going to import that database, and you're going to create a retargeting ad that is then going to hand deliver that video in front of the right people. Now, how could that not be valuable? I highly recommend using ads. TikTok ads are amazing. And you can go on TikTok.com/ads and look at ads that are working in the space that you're at to get ideas on what will work. But ad creation, I think, is the missing piece for most people when they're making videos. They're just trying to be organic. I want to be an organic killer. But guess what? It doesn't really work that way, especially if you don't have a massive audience, or you're really not putting the emphasis on creating relationships and not just selling. If you're selling all the time, you're not going to get an organic relationship. You need to, there's a strategy behind all of this, and ad creation is absolutely an integral part of getting your videos that you spend time and money and effort on in front of the right audience, in front of the right people. And one more thing about ads is you don't just make one ad. You take a couple of weeks to run separate ads and see how they're performing. Just the same way you should be doing with your videos. Just the same way you should. Analytics. We got to look on the back end. And that's what ads give you, is analytics. What's working? How many click-throughs am I getting here? How many viewed second are happening on my videos? Is this 3 seconds? Is it 30 seconds? Is it a minute? Which is phenomenal if you got people watching anything for a minute. But you get analytics, and then you start running ads as you go along that work better and better and better. And then you find the perfect ad set, and now you're cranking with leads. You found the keys to the kingdom. Ads are everything. I think that people have got to stop relying on just organic videos and start bringing ad creation into their content distribution plan.
What is your idea on the importance of short form content like Reels? Because I've been doing that for our podcast. Shout out Happy Hour Holidays.
Yeah, Happy
DAZE days.
Yeah.
Happy Hour Holidays. Ryan was on it.
Yeah, had a great time.
Yeah, that was an awesome one. But what is your idea on short form content? Because you create this long form content, you could chop it up, and you can have just 10, 15, 20, 30 clips of just maybe an hour's worth of video that you can pump out there. And also not only that, but cross-platform posting. So you mentioned TikTok. So like you post it on YouTube, you post it on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Somebody said Rumble. I don't know how hot Rumble is. Yeah.
Is that an underground dating site? What is Rumble?
No,
I'm not on Rumble.
Rumble was like trying to compete with TikTok.
Okay.
So I don't know if it's still around. And then Pinterest or something like that. But those are the four. Oh, and Twitter. But Twitter's hard, bro. I don't know why Twitter's so hard. I can't gain many followers on Twitter. But what I've seen is if one video blows up on YouTube, technically, and we're talking about short form content. We're not talking about long form content.
Absolutely.
If one blows up on YouTube, it tends to blow up on Facebook as well and on Instagram. Absolutely. So what's your take on that? I'm just interested in
My take is if you have a favorite social media platform, you are in trouble. We don't have favorite social media platforms anymore. We need to be omnipresent. If I'm out fishing, okay, and I got one pole out there, I've got a great chance of catching a fish. But if I've got multiple poles out, guess what the chances of me catching fish are? They have gone up exponentially. So it would be a shame to just have, because I recommend all real estate agents, you're dropping the ball if you're not on YouTube. The evergreen content, the ability to leverage the number one search engine site in the world, Google, that owns YouTube, the ability to optimize our videos and have content that 4 years later is still relevant. That's why we really, when I go out and film with people, we're thinking about, if this video is seen 3 years from now, how can it still be relevant? That's why your Just Listed and Just Solds are dead in the water as soon as you put them out there. It needs to be evergreen content. But if we have long form, which we should use, I think people are thinking about short form a lot, but I think that the mother of that short form should be, the mama bear should be the long form content on YouTube. Then we need to distribute that content on YouTube Shorts, on Facebook Reels, Instagram Reels, Pinterest. Pinterest is something. Pinterest and LinkedIn, I think, are underutilized right now and are so huge that people are missing the boat. But you need to be everywhere. You need to have a mothership strategy. And by the way, let me tell you about mothership real quick for businesses out there. If you got a small business and you've got a bunch of employees that, you know, you want to turn into video marketers, video is important. We need everyone out in the field making videos. So if you have someone come in and teach and empower people to use their cell phones to be able to create great content out in the field, now everyone can put those videos into a centralized location. Let's say it's a Google Drive or a Dropbox, so that's your mothership. Then your current marketer, the one that you should just be on Canva and put out some static images for you, you're doing a great job, but I got a new task for you. You're going to have all of that video content put in one place, and then you're going to selectively pick out the best and just upload that on all the social media. And here's another way to do that. There's a great program that I use called Metricool. Metricool, Facebook Business Suite. There's a lot of scheduling apps. It's not as if you need to go into every single platform and upload individually. You need to leverage technology, and Metricool is one way where you can put in one video and have it have a series of triggers that take that one video. Let's say you made a video on YouTube. You can use Metricool to now distribute that to every single platform automatically.
How do you spell that?
Metricool, Metricool.
Is it like a Hootsuite almost?
Yeah, there's Hootsuite. There's a lot of them, but you need to have and know about these certain technologies so that you can have a good time making videos. I'm going to sit here and make a podcast. We can cut this up into probably 30 days worth of content on one single post. There's all different things that you said, but that needs to go everywhere. And if I find something that's really working, let's say we get a lot of likes on one of the clips we put out, I'm probably going to turn that into an ad. If there's something that's really working well, I'm going to put more fuel on the fire and put an ad behind that. So we're going back to ads. When something's working, it's going to work if we get it in front of more people. So that's a great trigger in your mind. Oh, this content went viral. Let's make it even more viral and put an ad behind it. So
a lot of people have trouble creating short form content because they don't want to sit behind a computer and they don't want to,
I don't either.
Yeah. Listen, nobody,
I don't like doing
nobody
it.
Does. Nobody does. So I found this, and they're not paying me to say this. I found this website. It's called Opus, OPUS.PRO,
yes.
Opus.pro. And what I found is anytime I put in one of our podcasts, it could be like an hour, 15 minutes, it spits out 35 reels. Not all the best reels, but sure. I'd say about 25 to 30% are usable, but you still got to chop them up.
Yep.
But it saves me about like 5 to 10 hours a week, man, because I'm not having to sit there, listen to it, and then have to create the captions through Adobe Premiere and then format the caption and then move the caption, all that shit. It does it by itself, bro. And it's so cheap. It's $288 for the year annually if you pay up front annually. And it's like 80 hours that you can upload to it. And since I found it, that's all I've been using, because before I was having to listen to the whole episode. I'd have to chop it up, and then I'd have to I still have to, find music to go behind.
You got to have that music, baby. Sets the mood.
Music. So that's one thing, but there's also something that I just not recently, but I just started using with Fabre Frameworks Reels, which I only started.
Fabre.
Yeah. Was trending audio. So apparently trending audio gets more views on a video, because if it's trending, that means people click on the audio and they'll just go down all the videos. They'll be scrolling and boom. And TikTok really loves trending audio. Instagram really loves trending audio. Facebook, I don't know so much about. Facebook is hit or miss. But those are kind of tips to help improve your time efficiency with short form audio or short form content. and also your visibility with short form content.
And one thing that I want to say about that is, you know, when I first came into Florida, I got on video immediately and went from 0 contacts and started getting videos changed my life. Okay. And I went from brokerage to brokerage, and I taught you all, I tried to empower everyone to be an individual video marketing person. And you know what? I did my best. I tried to proselytize the good word. I tried to preach for you folks. But at this time, you can learn all these things, and you can leverage AI. You can have Opus. You can have the new iPhone 15 that's supposed to be a cinematic camera. They've been calling them cinematic cameras for years now. But what again, leverage, okay? Take your time back, all right? So Opus does work great, and I highly recommend you give Opus a try. But also, when you have a videographer team, a marketing team that specializes in this, we do take the time to listen and find the best points in those pieces of content that are going to resonate with your audience. So you can learn all of this. I can teach you it all. You could probably teach people how to photograph. You know, that's not what you've been getting into, because you specialize in leverage and be, dude, 250 to leverage and have amazing brand. That's awesome. So same thing with videography. You can learn how to do all this. You can train your staff, but leverage a videographer and a digital marketing team. Leverage February Frameworks for your amazing brand and your business. Don't leave it up to just trying to learn everything and do it all yourself. I know how that is, because I'm a lifelong learner. I like to learn everything. I like to dabble in all this stuff. I need my time back. I needed my time back.
Yeah.
I had to leverage some things. I had to call some people and say, you take this on, because you've got a pro here for photography. You got a pro here for videography, and leverage us. Don't go at it alone, because you've been saying this is your year for video, or you've been saying this is the year to get amazing photographs, and you've yet to do it. You're still using the camera. It's not what you want moving forward. You want some pizzazz. You want some beauty. You want to get yourself out there. You want to be known. You want to be known for a great brand, and you got to leverage some talent to do that. Just the point was, in a long-winded way, don't try and take on everything yourself. Don't try to take it all on. It's a mistake. Leverage people like February Frameworks and Rhino Creative Media, and let's build some awesome brands.
I think what he's saying is, you're not a professional photographer or videographer. So
thanks for saying that quickly. Don't try it.
I mean, he said it in a very long-winded way, but yeah, no.
You know what? Because there could have been a clip or two in there. I wanted to stretch it out a little bit, but yeah, don't do it.
Don't do it.
Just don't do it. Okay, the opposite of Nike. Okay, just don't do it. Just don't do it.
Just don't do it.
I need to get some of those shirts.
I'm more of a Puma guy anyway.
Are you Puma?
Oh well, and also
Puma's OG.
Adidas.
Yeah. Adidas. Shout out Adidas.
Yeah, you know what? Ryan's been trying to get me to go out there and play some golf. Other way, I've been trying to get you to go out there and play some golf.
Nothing more I want to do than walk around in that beautiful golf course.
90-degree weather. Humid as shit.
Bro, it's about to get cool, though. It's about to get cool. Yeah, it is.
Bro,
believe it or not.
Florida, man. It don't
happens.
get cool until like December 31st.
I have a prediction. November through like May, we're going to be having the best golf weather on earth. That's my prediction.
You also mentioned tennis.
Yeah, I love tennis. I used to play tennis with my boy Ryan Takadine, who got me in the mortgage business. And we used to play some tennis, and it's been a long time. But tennis is badass. I love tennis.
What I like about these sports is it teaches discipline, man. And that's one thing that a lot of people don't have a lot of. So I kind of want to shift gears to maybe a little bit more, not motivational, well, kind of motivational, but also more tips and tricks to maybe drive yourself to be successful. And one thing that I have found is determination is something that if you do not have, whether you've gone through the hard times and you've said, you know what, I'm done, and I'm just going to go back to that 9 to 5 because you're not determined. Where do you find your motivation, your drive, other than maybe your family? Where do you see why you are so determined to make Rhino Creative Media the Forbes top 100 list in the United States? Why are you laughing, bro? If that's not the goal, why even do it? You know, where do you find your determination and drive? What drives you?
Well, my goal is to maximize my capabilities to serve people on this planet. So whether that makes it to Forbes 100, I want to leave this I want to leave this earth, rode hard and put away wet. I want to have worked. I want to have game discipline. I want to have overcome. I want to have struggled. I want to have been victorious. My plan is to continually to level up. I don't want to be who I was last year as a 9-to-5 employee. Or yesterday. I want to continually getting better, and whatever that leads to, whatever God's spirit has got planned for me, I want to be open to hearing that and knowing that I'm capable, and I want to bring my gifts to the world. So one of my gifts are helping people to break the habit of being themselves and being reluctant to be on video, and to be able to do what I think is the best way to communicate, connect, and convert with the marketplace, which is through video. So I wanted to give my highest skill to the marketplace, and I'm determined. Number one, you mentioned I'm a dad. I have 2 beautiful children. I've got a wife. I'm here in the suburbs. We're in the studio here. Suburb studio.
Suburbs.
Shout out. Yeah. We love the suburbs. Yeah. Boy. But I just continually want to strive to reach more and more of my potential, more and more of what's been put into me. I want to dig all the shit that everyone put on me. Because I've been a child. I've been a teenager. I've been through schooling system. I've been through religion. I've been through all this stuff. My job now in my 30s, because 20s, I didn't know what the hell was going on. In the 30s, it's been an unpacking of all the stuff that everyone put on me. So I'm continually to find my center and just to give my best skills to the marketplace, man. And yes, I do want to be top. I don't think of just wanting to be mediocre, but I also... Life's tough. Life's hard. The marketplace isn't the only thing that's hard right now. Life is. Relationships are. Marriages are tough. Being a dad, a mother, a boyfriend, a girlfriend, it's all tough. So the thing for me is just continually to be better than I was yesterday and the year before. I want to continue to level up. I want to see what I can do. I want to see what's possible. So that's one of the reasons I became an entrepreneur, because I knew that I wouldn't be able to figure out how to reach that potential with being under the plan of someone else. Because I'll tell you what, guess what? If you don't have a plan for your life, guess what other people got planned for you? Nothing to not much. Yeah. Okay. So I just wanted to take control. I wanted to live a life by design, start designing my life more. So that's why I'm out here, and I'm still trying to figure out every day. I got into this business 4.5 months ago as far as taking on business myself. My God, there's so much to learn. There's so much to learn about myself, so much to learn about business, so much to learn about leverage, so much to learn about taking care of my health and hydrating myself properly, eating well, having still interpersonal relationships that are good. There's so much to life. It's difficult. Choose your difficulty though. Level up. That's my message today. It's just level up. Okay. If you want to be Fortune 500, Fortune 100, I highly recommend that, because that's a great place to aim. Even if you miss, you're going to land amongst the stars, baby.
That's right. And then I think Les Brown said it best, because you were talking about how tough it could be, is if you fall, try and land on your back, because if you can look up, you can get up.
Get up.
So that's really a big thing, because you are going to feel a lot of failure in your life. You are going to,
yes,
especially when you go down the road of an entrepreneur. I mean, that's just a fact. You're going to be like, man, I didn't get that call back. This person said they were going to use this, but they haven't used this yet. And you will see a lot of things that you find as failures that could actually just be learning to adapt and maximize your full potential and resisting failure, I think, is what the best way I could put it.
And what's your North Star? Where are you going? No one's getting anywhere without knowing where they're going. That's the biggest mistake I've had in my life, is not knowing where I'm going. You might have multi-talents. You might be exceptional. You might have had that conversation a bunch of times where people said, you got a lot of potential. Mm-hmm. How many times did you hear that? A lot of people, you hear that. But what's your North Star? Where are you going? You got to start, especially in business, with the end in mind. Where are we going? What's the plan? And you got to constantly adjust that, because the winds are coming. The storms are blowing in. We got to have a place where we're regrouping regularly. You might have that long-term plan, but what about all the stuff that happens on the way there? Like, you got to have good people in your life. You've got to have a crystal clear vision of where you're going. You got to start with the end in mind. Have a North Star, because even when I get thrown off course, what's that North Star? What is it that I'm ultimately doing this for? And for me, it's to find out how much I got until I no longer have the ability to show that anymore, through death. I will die. By the way, best motivational quote ever is, you will die. You're going to die. Get it done. Figure out what it is you're here for.
And adapt and overcome.
And have a great brand the whole time in this life. Have a good brand in this life. The brand is you. Make sure you have great photographs. Make sure that you're putting And this comes back to video too, not just putting just listed, just sold. Show people who you are, you know, walk through this earth. The people that you are here to serve are the people that you used to be. So what is it that you've been through in business and in life for people that are where you used to be? How can you serve them? You will gain so many people by being vulnerable in a way that reaches back instead of just forward all the time, reaching back to say, hey, come along here. Cause I've been through some things. I want to.
Only if they're willing to listen. Cause I've tried that plenty of times, man.
You don't drag them. You don't grab them and drag them, but you give them an opportunity to say, hey, there's.
I've been screwed a couple times by doing that.
As far as trying to get people to level up and say, hey, I see potential in you, so I'm just going to drag you across the finish line.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, it doesn't work.
We're not going to mention names there, but
yeah, well, after the show, but it's about just like you still don't. There was a story about a snake, a man reaching into a fire to pick up a snake. Okay, I put it on my social media weeks and weeks ago, and he reaches down into the fire to get this snake out. He wants to save the snake. The snake bit him. Okay, so he drops the snake back into the fire, but then he gets a stick and he still tries to get the snake out, because what the guy realizes is the snake's nature is to bite. I know that. Going in to rescue this thing, I knew its nature is to bite and strike out and defend. My nature is to help. So I'm not going to allow this snake, because of its nature, stop me from mine. I'm here to do good, help, and serve. And if that doesn't bring back reciprocation, if that doesn't bring back great returns, if it doesn't stop the thing from living its nature, don't let anything stop you from living out your nature.
Yeah, you're such a good guy, man.
Pick up the snake.
I let that snake burn, then eat it.
I've had snake. It's pretty good. It tastes like chicken, like good, most things. But just like, I don't know, man. I needed help so many times in my life. I know how difficult life is. I know how struggle we can be in our business with our mental health, our finances. I'm almost in my 40s. I've seen marriage and children and all this strife and strain. Like, I don't know, man. I just think we're all in process, and we got to serve the best that we can and stop thinking about what everyone's going to give to us. We just got to figure out what we are and who we are and just give that shit. Give it every day. Give it until you're wore out and used. What else you got to do?
Yeah, you should be a motivational speaker, man.
Yeah,
I told you that on this.
Forget this video marketing crap, man. I want to help us. I want to help us shine. Let's go.
I mean, damn. I'm like all hyped over here now. You know.
Now I appreciate that. I want you to be hyped because I want to be hyped. You know, when I'm talking to you, I'm talking to me. When I'm talking to the camera, I'm talking to myself. Especially with motivational stuff, because we're all on this journey together, man. We're all on this planet together. Like, you think that we're so separate from one another. Take some ayahuasca or a little bit of shrooms, trip out a little bit, see behind the I've never done that, by the way.
Is ayahuasca DMT?
Yes, it invokes DMT.
They actually have a camp in Orlando for that.
Yeah, they do. And
It's
I've had some friends that have gone there.
People. It's not like a drug.
You can do it legally,
natural,
but
it's a camp. And it's for Native Americans. So,
well, it's not for Native Americans.
Well, no, but it's a Native American
facilitated
camp. Yeah.
But the thing is, when I said that, and I've never used psychedelics, and I'm really upset that I haven't. A little bit of microdosing, but the fact is, you will see that we're not separated. Like my friends that have done it have seen clearly that there is no separation between us. That's an illusion. So we're all in this together. We've got to serve. We got to find out who we are. Start with the end in mind. Be empowered. Be around great people. Do video marketing. Promote what you're doing on this earth. Get great photos for your damn listings, and let's get it. Okay, the world's not coming to an end. I talk about that on one of my TikToks. It's not the one I advertise. It's not for video marketing, but the world's not coming to an end. There is a compelling future ahead. There is light at the end of this tunnel. Let's keep going.
I like that. Never stop.
Never stop.
Never
take
never
a break.
falter.
But I'm all about breaks. We got to pause. We ride ourselves ragged sometimes. Sometimes we do too much. Take some moment. Go full action. The Tao Te Ching. It said there's times for action. There's time for sleep. There's times for struggle. There's times for great victories. Like, it's all happening. It's all happening now. Just be with it. Go. Keep going.
And don't stop, though.
Don't stop, though. Don't stop.
Quit.
Don't
quit.
lay down.
Yeah.
You know? Surrender to the flow of life, though. I used to think surrender was like giving up. If I surrender, I'm giving up. But in this term, like when in religion or with God or with spirituality, like surrender is more allowing the flow of life to happen and quit trying to be a barrier for all the things that happen. This too shall pass. You're going to have hard times. You're going to have good times. How many things have you survived? 100% of them, right? Look, we're going to have some struggles. This business is in a time of struggle right now, but it comes back. This too shall pass. And in the meantime, let's have some great marketing.
God, I feel like I've heard that somewhere. That was Les Brown?
Well, that's the Bible says this too shall pass.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Okay.
A lot of us have said that because we read the good book. But yeah, this too shall pass is a huge thing in the scriptures and whatnot.
And that's probably the most real thing that it says right there.
It's so good. It's so good.
Because it's true.
But are you happy right now? That'll pass. Are you fulfilled in your relationship right now? That'll pass.
Shit, you're thinking
are
about
you
from
having
a positive point of view as well, right? If you're happy, that too shall pass, because you will be
feeling
sad.
good right now, feeling great.
Be sad, yeah.
Sadness is around the corner. Feeling sad right now, victory's around the corner. That too shall pass. This is life. There's no consistency. There's no constant. Now, there can be consistency in your marketing, but not in this life. As far as things are coming bad, good. We're here for it, baby. We signed up. This is the program. This is Earth University. Lesson after lesson after lesson after lesson. Dude, we got to take advantage of what we're given. Play the cards that you got. Play that hand to the best of your ability, and have a good poker face every now and then.
So Ryan, I mean, this studio is badass. Let me just say,
you like it?
It's real nice, bro. The mood lighting, everything. You were telling me that you're actually renting this out as well, right?
I'm glad you brought that up. Let me talk into camera one. Yes, you can absolutely come in here, but I'm going to actually be engineering this for you. So this is a 3-camera. I'm actually live switching myself. I've done it all myself, and don't do it, folks. Leverage someone. I should have somebody over there doing it. But yes, you can come into Rhino Studios here in New Tampa. Take advantage of the 3-camera system. We got professional audio, professional lighting, professional video. It'll be live edited, so you'll get that product back immediately, and then we're going to distribute out a variety of reels per episode to you as well. We can also then manage your social media, so get all that content out for you. The editing, we do it all for you right here. So you come in, you could make an hour piece of content. Now you've got content for the whole month. You spend an hour with us here in Rhino Studio, you rent it out. But if you've got a 4-package once a week, consistency, man, you're going to have content forever, and you've got the professional look. We've got a new mic coming in. You got our old mic. You're on our beta mic right now.
Damn, I didn't make the cut.
It's a good one though. No, it's a good one. That's a great mic. We want some uniformity. We got the Shure SM7Bs. That's the Joe Rogan mic. Most popular podcasts have the SM7B. Sounds good, right? But yeah, rent studio. Let me know. DM me. Let me know if you want to start a show, because we can help you. You can leverage me to be the producer of your podcast and your content and distribute it on social media. You can leverage me.
So you have different kinds of packages where you create the short form content and you deliver everything and schedule it for them as well?
Yeah, well, there's a variety of things. There's so much to do. Are you going to put this on YouTube? Is that going to be your main place for your podcast? Then we want to have SEO optimization on your YouTube. We want to have thumbnails that are designed that are February framework like aesthetics that people want to click on that. Okay. And then we want to have descriptions that are, again, optimized for SEO and all the back end stuff. That's a lot of work. So we did long form, and then we cut it up. We're going to put it on your shorts, your Instagram and Facebook reels. We're going to put it on TikTok, everywhere, and do it all for you. So there's going to be 5 to 10 reels per episode that'll come out. So if you're doing 4 episodes a month, you could have up to 40 different pieces of content just from that podcast, plus the main form video that's going to be working for you for the next several years, because it's going to be a part of your evergreen presence on YouTube.
So Rhino Creative Media is not just a media company. It's also a marketing and promotions company. Damn, dude.
What?
You're an agency.
Yes. I love it. We're an agency right here.
Rhino Creative Agency.
Oh, man, it's exciting. I just got goosebumps, okay? So if you need to leverage some folks, you need photography, videography, everybody at this table right now can make you a superstar with that and give you that brand, the look that it deserves.
Makes you look like you've been in business forever. Say it live.
Yes. Oh my God. One of my favorite movies, Forever. Gotta drop that bottom lip. Yes. Gotta love that movie.
It's hilarious, man.
Shout out to Squints. Shout out Squints and yeah.
Dude, are they still alive?
Yes, the big Hambino is active on social media.
Are you talking about?
I forget his name.
The one that points.
Yes.
Yeah. Dude, yeah.
He's the best.
Yeah, I follow him.
He's heavy on social media right now. I don't know what the rest of them are doing.
We're talking like what, 1995, right?
Classic movie.
It's the best. I mean, I'm a 90s kid, so.
90s kid here too. 80s baby, 90s kid. Let's go.
80s baby, yeah.
Such a great time to be born and to live in the 90s. Being a kid in the 90s.
We didn't have internet.
I can't wait to have an episode just about being outside. A kid in the 90s.
Yeah, we went outside. We rode bikes. We weren't on our fucking phones.
It was
amazing. We actually lived, knocked on our neighbor's door, didn't have to call.
I and my bicycle gang left our bikes under the bridge, and we walked through the creek up to 2 counties, and then came back and got arrested because our parents were thought that we had disappeared and whatnot. They were really mad. So my parents.
Where are you from?
They put me in the back of a cop car.
Where are you from?
You were Ohio.
Ohio.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. Dayton, Ohio is where I was born. But we did cool stuff like go to the creek and make forts and have bicycle gangs.
You couldn't do that in Florida.
No, I guess not. See, I'm from the north.
Because there's gators.
Yeah, right.
You cross the creek, bro. Dude.
It wasn't as dangerous where I come from.
No. It's, my parents were always like, don't go in the water. Why?
Yeah.
Don't go in the water. Just don't worry about it. Don't go in the water.
Don't even get near the water.
Yeah, don't even get near it, bro. Fuck, man. Florida's dangerous, but I love
Florida
it.
is
I'm
dangerous.
born and raised in Tampa. So
Sunshine
Tampa
State,
native.
we love you.
I'm a tampon.
Yeah, I heard that's the 3rd time I've heard that today.
But really, it's Tampanian.
Such an unfortunate name for you. No, it's not actually.
Are you sure?
Tampa Bay Times did a whole thing like
and it's actually
2016 or 2017. No, it's Tempano.
Tempano. It's that Cuban influence.
I don't know.
It's got to be.
But that was the official one.
Tempano. I like that word.
It's not bad. I like it. I didn't even know what a Cuban sandwich was till I come down here to Tampa. I never heard of it, never seen it. Delicious though. Shout out to the Stone Soup Company in Ybor. They got a good one.
And so there's another one, bro. Carmine's. Carmine's got a great.
Tell it into the camera.
Carmine's. And they got good like quarter chicken. They got pulled pork. Their butter toast is awesome. Their garlic toast is awesome. Once again, not getting paid.
We promote good businesses.
We're promoting them. We get paid.
We need some affiliate links or something. But look, okay, so we're wrapping it up here on the very first episode of Rhino Radio. Okay, and I want to thank Sean Febray for being here today, talking about the importance of brand and quality in your business. Contact Sean and his team for any kind of professional photography to leverage them to build your brand during these times. So in the 2 year, when you're working hard and building a brand now, they're going to call you lucky in a year and a half. You want to be one of those lucky ones. And of course, Ryan here at Rhino Creative Media. Stay tuned to the podcast and all things Rhino Creative Media. We're going to bring you all the greatest people in the area to help you have an amazing brand and an amazing life. All right, I think we're out.
Yeah, peace.
See ya.